Hello everyone. Before the presentation start, this is for educational use only. Our group is allowing our instructor Mr. Roldan Ardenes to use this as an educational material. Once again, this is Roger Frejon and Apollo. This is our group presentation entitled Gender and Sexuality Online. Gender refers to the characteristic of women, men, girls, and boys that are socially constructed. This includes norms, behaviors, and roles associated with being a woman, man, girl, or boy, as well as relationship with each other. As a social construct, gender varies from society and can change over time. Sexuality is about your sexual feelings, thoughts, attraction, and behaviors towards other people. You can find other people physically, sexual, or emotionally attractive. All those things are a part of your sexuality. Sexuality is a diverse and personal, and it is an important part of who you are. Both gender identity and sexual orientation are important to parts of a person's overall identity. Yet, in each case, social contracts surrounding gender and sexuality continue to result in prejudices that negatively impact gender diverse and sexuality minority individuals.
My name is Clark Mcia. My topic is gender identity. Gender identity, a person's deeply felt inherent sense of being a boy, a man, or a male, a girl, a woman, or a female, or an alternative gender which may or may not correspond to person's sex assigned at birth. Gender identity is a personal and an inherent part of an individual's sense of self. While gender is often presented as a binary that only includes men and women, in reality, gender is a spectrum and people can define their gender in a variety of ways, including as a combination of woman and man, a completely separate gender, or as no gender at all.
Good day everyone. My name is Donald Codera and my topic is all about gender. Gender includes the social, physiological, cultural, and behavioral aspect of being a man, woman, or other gender identity. Depending on the context, this may include sex-based social structures, gender roles, and gender expression. Most cultures use a gender binary in which gender is divided into two categories, and people are considered part of one or the others boys, men's, and girls, women. Those who are outside these groups may fall under the umbrella term non-binary. Some societies have specific gender beside man and woman, such as the Heras of South Asia. These are often referred to as third gender and fourth genders, etc. Most scholars agree that gender is a central characteristic for social organization. Gender can be thought of as biopsychosocial as it includes social, physiological, biological, cultural, and behavioral aspects. And that's all. Good day, everyone. My name is Donald Codera, and my topic is all about gender. Gender includes the social, physiological, cultural, and behavioral aspect of being a man, woman, or other gender identity. Depending on the context, this may include sex-based social structures, gender roles, and gender expression. Most cultures use a gender binary in which gender is divided into two categories, and people are considered part of one or the others boys, men's, and girls, women. Those who are outside these groups may fall under the umbrella term non-binary. Some societies have specific gender beside man and woman, such as the Heras of South Asia. These are often referred to as third gender and fourth genders, etc., most scholars agree that gender is a central characteristic for social organization. Gender can be thought of as biopsychosocial as it includes social, physiological, biological, cultural, and behavioral aspects. And that's all.
Why do you learn in human sexuality? Discussion of sexuality can and should include information about anatomy, physiology, gender roles, sexual identity, love, interpersonal relationships, social, cultural factors as revealed in community, standards and laws, and moral, spiritual, religious effects on sexuality. These studies found gender and internet use to be predictive of sexual attitude and behavior orientation of young adults. Studies showed that frequency of internet use was significantly associated with practice of content of sexually explicit sites. Sexuality is important to us because it represents an activity that is a rite passage into adulthood, because it is very pleasurable, and because it reinforces our role and aspirations as male and females. Yet, sexuality is really a passive part of our daily lives. Why is gender important in society? Gender influences human notions, conditions, and experiences. Legal, political, economic, cultural, and kinship system are all profoundly gendered.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gender Arlongakit, and my topic is all about gender and sexuality. Gender and sexuality are the often assumed to be related concept, but in reality, they are separate and distinct. Understanding the difference between gender versus sexuality is important because while both are important parts of an individual's sense of self, if you don't know what each one is, you may make incorrect assumptions. The article begins by defining gender identity and describing the difference between gender and identity. Gender is expressions and sex. It then defines sexual orientation and discusses sexual fluidity. Finally, it details the impact of the discrimination agent gender diverse and a sexuality minority individuals and the factors that can help mitigate the negative effect of stigma and prejudice.
Good day, sir. My name is Gina Paras. I will going to discuss the sexuality. Sexuality online is about your sexual feelings, thoughts, attractions, and behaviors towards other people. You can find other people physically, sexually, or emotionally attractive. And all those things are part of your sexuality. Sexuality is diverse and personal, and it's an important part of who you are. Online sexuality was first seeded as a social force in the mid-of 1980s with the release of the first desktop computers and public computer networks. The earliest empirical studies in the field were published in the mid-of 1990s with the popularization of the Internet. Since then, the volume of the academic publications on internet sexuality has increased significantly with each passing year. The following three examples provide a valuable glimpse into the early phase of research in the field. Internet sexuality is an umbrella term that refers to all sex-related content and activities observable on the internet.
I'm Apple May here. I'm going to tackle about gender identity. Gender identity is each person's internal and individual experience of gender. It is person's sense of being a woman, a man, both their neither or anywhere along the gender spectrum. A person's gender identity may be the same or different from their birth assigned sex. Gender identity is a gender person feels internally. Gender identity along the gender spectrum and expressed publicly. gender expression in their daily life, including at work, while shopping or accessing other service, in their housing environment or their border community. Gender identity an individual's self-conception as a woman, man, or as a boy or girl, or some combination of man, boy, and woman or girl, as a sum of fluctuating between a man and a woman, girl as a someone outside those categories altogether. It is distinguished from actual biological sex, male or female. For most person, gender identity, biological sex corresponding in the conventional way. Some individuals, however, experience little or not connection between sex and gender. Among transgender persons, for example, biological sexual characteristics are distinct and, but affected person identities with a gender conventionally associated with the opposite sex.